welcome to today's reading. So today we will be finding out what you would be manifesting within the next 6 months. We have 3 piles to choose from today, pile 1, 2 and 3. So I've attached GIFs to each of the piles. If you would like to choose visually, you could let your eyes lose focus for a moment and let your eyes drift to the image that is calling out to you, or you could choose it however you like. Of course, you could choose more than one pile as well if you feel like more than one pile is drawing you in. I'll keep the GIFs looping on screen for about a minute or so that you have time to choose, and I will see you in a minute. Let's look at your cards. So first up is the Knight of Cups, the 5 of Coins, and the 7 of Cups. For your oracle cards, we have Herath, longing for home, homesick for the stars. Here we have inner peace, followed by the Eye card. And here we have the Queen of Spades, Morgana. Okay, so pile 1, from what I can see in the cards, I think what you are going to manifest in the next 6 months has a lot to do with your own perspective. I think you would have a change in perspective in the next 6 months, and that might give you and that might be because of a change in your circumstances of your surroundings, or it might be the reason why you experience a shift in fortune. So very obviously with the inner peace card, I see that you would be in a better place in the next 6 months. You would feel like you don't have to struggle so hard anymore, because I do see that for many of you, you might have been struggling very hard to achieve a particular goal. This could be career related, or this could be related to your relationships, or this could be just a personal goal that you have been striving towards. I think the 5 of Coins, the 7 of Cups and Morgana are very telling. So the 5 of Coins, we see this we see people outside a church, and they are hungry and cold and feeling desolate, but what they don't realize is that they are right outside a church. They can just enter the church and find solace in the church, find warmth in the church, and or perhaps seek help from the church. So there's a sense that they are so absorbed in their own misery that they are not even trying to actively seek help. They are not trying to think about how they can uplift their own circumstances. Whereas the 7 of Cups is a card of being so absorbed, being so obsessed with the world in your own head. So from these 2 cards, I sense that you might not have been having a good look at your surroundings. You might not have viewed what you have as a blessing. I say that with the eye card as well. So part of what you're manifesting in the next 6 months is related to your perspective. Is about getting a discerning eye, gaining intuition. So I mentioned Morgana just now as well. So okay, Morgana, so I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, but she's kind of a little bit like the Queen of Swords in tarot. Morgana is a sorceress who is very scheming, very manipulative, and her husband very reluctant to ask for help. Morgana is about being fiercely independent. Her husband is a nomad king who has, however, this might have been preventing you from reaching her. So she's bitter and the next 6 months alone, but at the same time she's independent, very fierce and very manipulative. So there's two sides. Others for help should not be accompanied by a sense of I see from this card is that you might have mean that you are not self-sufficient to manifest something. No man is an island, and we should with the Seven of Cups energy as well. And people are connected, and there are always people out so there who are willing to help you to manifest something in a very particular way. You have Knight of Cups is a very compassionate knight. Morgana tells me that you might have been doing everything at your disposal to make that happen. It's all about protecting the people. So there's just something that you would be very open about. If you're familiar with the law of attraction, the idea is that if you're afraid that something is not going to happen, then if you're afraid that what you're going to manifest would not come to you, then there's a chance that you are pushing your manifestation away. You are delaying that manifestation. So what I see with Morgana and what I see with the Seven of Cups is that you might have been approaching this the wrong way. You might not have been seeking the help that you need. The next 6 months, I think that you would be having a shift in perspective and gaining that inner peace, learning how to let go of expectations and just letting things come to you. I say that with the Wraith card as well. Sorry, I don't really know how to pronounce that, but the Oracle card, the pink Oracle card by the corner. So that card is about longing for something that you feel like you should have, but and being so again, having your head in a clouds, being so absorbed in your own thoughts, not being grounded, not being in the moment, not looking around you and recognizing what you have, not seeing the tools at your disposal. So I think that in the next 6 months you would be learning how to approach your dreams, approach what you're trying to manifest in a way that serves you better. I think that for many of you, there might be somebody coming into your life to help you out with what you're trying to manifest. Perhaps this person could be represented by the Knight of Cups. So somebody who is who has a rather peaceful energy, but at the same time gives you guidance on how to approach your goal. Because as far as the court cards in the Suit of Cups go, the Knight is considered one of the most energetic ones. Even though the Suit of Cups in general, water has a very slow energy, so this person might be guiding you on how to approach your goals in a more appropriate pace. However, I do see that there might be a shift in your circumstances. So if you are worried that what you are trying to manifest would not happen in the next 6 months, I do think that this might not be the case. Because with the inner peace card, I also get the sense that it's a situation of abundance. There's so much underwater. I think that if you're trying to manifest a relationship, for instance, you might not end up with the person that you've been hoping for, but you might find somebody else better, somebody unexpected. You might see beyond the surface about this other person and realize that, oh, this person is much better suited to you. A much more romantic person. That might be what the Knight of Cups is referring to. Or if you are trying to manifest a career change, for instance, it's the same thing. So you might not be manifesting the high salary, high income immediately, but you might find joy in the new career that you've been manifesting. So I see that there is going to be a shift in your fortune, although and it's going to give you inner peace, although I don't think that you would be achieving your goals immediately. Because with Morgana and with the Seven of Cups, I sense that you might have had very lofty goals. With the Knight of Cups, it also tells me, and the Knight of Cups and the inner peace card, I think they go really well together. The Eye card as well. So the Knight of Cups be it in this depiction or be it in the conventional Rider-Waite depiction, we see this knight who has his gaze far into the distance. He has his eye on his prize. If the eye card is about intuition as well and insight, I do see that you still have your eye on the prize, but you're approaching it in a more in a slower manner. It's almost like you're enjoying the moment, enjoying the process, just taking in the sights around you, enjoying the lessons learned in the process. The I card, because EYE, I also sounds like how we refer to ourselves. I think that you would be focusing more on yourself in the next 6 months. So rather than focusing on how important it is for you to have a particular goal, your focus would be on how you feel while you are approaching this goal, for instance. So for example, if you feel like this whatever you've been trying to manifest has been more trouble than it's worth, then perhaps it's time to take a step back and focus on your mental health, focus on taking a breather, focus on trying to do what makes you happy. So I do see that in the next 6 months you would have a better view of what you need, better perspective of what is right for you, what fills your well. And that's all I have for group 1. I see that the next 6 months would be very pleasant for you. It's you might experience a slowing down in the pace of your life. Perhaps you might have more time to do little things that are not related to a goal that you are trying to pursue, but little things that you might enjoy, like reading a book, taking a walk, or just taking in the sights around you. Perhaps you walk around your neighborhood and realize that, hey, my neighborhood is actually more beautiful than I had always thought. There are more sights here that I could enjoy than I thought I would, that I never thought I would have. And that's all I have for group 1. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated with you, and I hope to see you again. If you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment down below. Thank you and goodbye. Hi group 2, let's look at what you have. So first up, you have the Two of Wands. Here we have Strength. Here we have the Four of Cups. Lost land, soul, memory and gifts. You've done this before. Adventures. Wolf. And here we have the Jack of Hearts, La Air. I think I might have pronounced this as La Haya in a previous video, but I found out it's La Air. Okay, so first of all, reading the Adventures card on a surface level, and even the Lost Lands card, I think that some of you might be manifesting physical travel in the next 6 months. Perhaps you might be traveling to a place that you've always wanted to go, that your soul have always felt drawn to, and you might be experiencing an adventure there. The Two of Wands as well. Two of Wands is about preparing for an adventure, being very excited about an upcoming adventure, planning out your voyage. So it might not even just be one place that you're going to. Perhaps you have always wanted to backpack across the country, for instance, and now you would have the chance to do that. With the Four of Cups and the Wolf, I think that you might have felt very bored recently, or you might have felt very bored for a long time. You felt that you have not been doing what your soul is calling you to do, because the Four of Cups is about being obsessed with the empty cups in front of you and not realizing that you might have a different opportunity being presented to you, feeling like you are very dissatisfied with the situation, feeling like you are a little trapped almost, feeling a sense of lack. Whereas the Wolf card can be about answering a calling, answering what is in the deepest part of your soul, howling to the moon and letting the moon reflect what your heart is yearning for, what you're pining for. So within the next 6 months, I see that you would be taking a step towards this adventure, towards what you've always dreamt about. Like I mentioned, this could be about physical travel. However, I do also think that this could be related to your career or a personal goal. So you might have been wanting a career change, or you might have wanted to start something for a very long time, but you might have been unsure of how you would do it, or you might have not even realized that there was something else that you wanted to do. So in the next 6 months is about finding out what you really want to do, planning out what really fills your well, what makes you excited, what makes you passionate, because the Two of Wands is about passion as well. The Wands is about fiery, passionate energy, and the Air is the Jack of Hearts. It's about somebody who always follows his heart's desires. Besides that, the Air is also he's also a little bit of a playboy. He's all about going on adventures and hooking up with new people and so on. So I do see that you would be embodying the energy in the next 6 months, just meeting new people, flirting with them, and just having fun, having a whale of a time. The Air could also mean meeting a new lover in the next 6 months. So you might be meeting somebody who's very adventurous, somebody who would take you on new adventures and would introduce new hobbies and new experiences to you that you would have never even dreamt of. So this is a very exciting time for you. Although with the wolf card, I see that this might not necessarily be a very committed relationship, or rather the point here is not to be in a committed relationship for the person that you might meet, because the wolf card is, of course, well, a wolf is a lone wolf. It's about yourself. It's about reflecting on what you need, what makes you happy, about working on yourself rather than being necessarily in a relationship with someone else. So the next 6 months is all about you, all about yourself. And if you've been wanting to manifest a career change, wanting to manifest a change in where you live, for instance, a change in your surroundings, I see that it would be happening in the next 6 months. You might even be moving to a new place because of the lost lands card. Soul memories and gifts. You've done this before, so you might be moving to a place that your heart has always longed for, pined for. You might be finally accepting the opportunity that is presented to you in the Four of Cups. So, like I mentioned, the Four of Cups is about a man who is usually very focused on what he does not have, but not realizing that something is if you look at the traditional rider depiction, we see like a hand materializing out of thin air and offering him another cup, but he's not even looking at it, he's not even considering it. He's just focused on what he doesn't have. So I see that in the next 6 months you might be turning your focus towards that cup, perhaps trying to take stock of what other opportunities lay ahead of you, and going on an adventuring towards the unknown, trying to do things that might not be familiar to you, trying to meet people who are outside of your comfort zone. So if you're an introvert, you might be meeting new people who might be very dynamic, very chatty, and you might be trying to connect with them. And with the adventures card, you see a waterfall inside the card. It's about this card is about change as well. So the next 6 months might not be static for you. I think you might be experiencing many changes and adapting to these changes. So for example, things might be happening all at once. You might be moving to a new place, getting a new job, surrounding yourself with new people, having new relationships, and so on. You might even be considering doing freelance work, for instance, so you would be constantly seeking new clients. But I do see that this would be a very invigorating process for you. You love planning for what's to come. You are very excited to map out your life in the next 6 months. And finally, we have the Strength card. So besides indicating that you would be having the courage to go on adventures that you've always dreamt about, adventures that your soul is yearning for, pushing your boundaries and being out of your comfort zone, the Strength card could also mean that you would be feeling very sexually powerful in the next 6 months. So this could mean that you might be meeting very new lovers and just be so passionate about falling in love, not necessarily with anyone in particular, but just enjoying the process of falling in love, or just feeling very confident about your sex appeal, because the Strength card is also heavily associated with the Lust card in the Thoth version, or rather it has been replaced by the last card in the Thoth version, and the Strength card is one of the most sexual cards in tarot, and together with the Two of Wands and the Air card, it really gives a sense that there's a lot of sexual energy in your next 6 months, or just being very keen to explore what lights your fire, explore new aspects of your sexuality. The wolf card, wolves are also really feral, right? They are very well, they're animals basically. They are wild and they are all about the instinct. So this could be you in the next 6 months, going on adventures, trying to discover your raw sexuality, and so on. So that is all I have for group 2. I hope this resonated with you. I hope you like this reading, and I hope that you have many fruitful adventures in the next 6 months. Please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment down below. I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Hello group 3, let's look at your cards. We have the Ace of Coins, the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Community, cauldron. And here we have the Four of Clubs, East Wind. Okay, so group 3, I think that in the next 6 months your efforts are coming to fruition. So you might have been working on a goal for a while. This could be career related, this could be related to your academics, or this could even be a beauty related goal. So you might have been trying to glow up for a long time, and I think that this is going to manifest within the next 6 months. First of all, we have the Ace of Coins cards about pure manifestation, or rather pure potential, like having that potential in your hands. And we also have the East Wind card. So in the guidebook that comes with this deck, it's mentioned that the East Wind is a very slow and deliberate wind. It's a wind that Zeus never really calls upon whenever he needs to call upon natural forces to invoke his power. The east wind is a very slow and deliberate wind. It's not a sudden gust of wind. It's about it's a warm wind that is a result of planning, of deliberation, of thought. So I think that you might have planned for something for a very long time, or worked hard towards something for a very long time, and you are starting to see your efforts take root. And I think it's very interesting that in the Ace of Coins here we see it's almost like the person is holding a seed. If I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly, this card is inspired by Jack and the Beanstalk. So he's holding a magic bean. He's holding something that he would plant into the ground for new life to take hold, for his new life to happen, something that will transform his fortune. Just like we see in the Wheel of Fortune card, this is a very exciting card to have. So I don't think that this would be a very sudden momentous change for you, but I do think that your life would be a lot better in the next 6 months. You see next 6 months, so you see that things that you've put effort towards are starting to grow from the ground, are starting to take hold. I say that with the Cauldron card as well. So what I see from the Cauldron card is that you might have spent a long time like brewing your concoction, making your spell. So if I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly, in Taoist mythology, I think it's Taoist, that these Taoist priests would spend years and years just trying to make that magic elixir, making that magic pill that would grant immortality. So this is what I see with you. You've been carefully planning, carefully nurturing your goals for a very long time, and you will be starting to enjoy the fruits of your labor over the next 6 months. So we also have the Lovers card, which can of course also mean that you might be meeting a lover over the next 6 months, or deepening a relationship that you currently have. There are many interpretations for the Lovers card, which I'll go through in a while, but I do think that this card could be about the deepening of a relationship. I say that with the Lovers card, the Community card, the All Paths Lead Home card, and even the Cauldron card. So it's about reconciling the differences that you might have had with that person and accepting them for who they are, as well as they accepting you for who you are. So really forming a bond with the person where you can really share whatever's in your heart with that person. So the Community card also gives me the sense that, besides being about a passionate relationship, this is also somebody whom you can rely on in times of need. Somebody who's almost like a friend to you, both a friend and a lover. And the Lovers card is also ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is about twins. So I do think that you might feel like it's almost like you're twins with that person. It's almost like they always know what you're thinking, and you always know what they're thinking. You're inseparable. And with the All Paths Lead Home card, this part is about turning the gaze within. I think that you would be able to, in the next 6 months, I think really looking into your own soul and looking into the other person's soul. So feeling very at home with the other person, feeling truly connected with the other person, connecting on a soul level, not just a surface level, not just being passionate, but really getting to know the other person. The Cauldron card as well. So this card is about, finally getting that magic elixir, or rather putting in effort into brewing that magical concoction. So this might represent a process for you and that other person, really trying to take your own time and enjoying your time trying to get to know each other. So interestingly, this Lovers card is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. So I think that it represents that you would be seeing beyond the surface with the other person. I don't mean that one of you is necessarily the beauty and the other one the beast, but I think that it's all about really looking at what's in their soul and not about what's on the outside. So as I've mentioned just now, the Lovers card could have many interpretations, and another interpretation is about making a choice that is calling out to you, that serves you better. So I think that some of you might be making a choice in the next 6 months that makes you feel like you're at home, makes you feel like you're amongst your people, amongst your community. Really, that makes you feel like you are answering your soul's calling, that you are answering what you need, that you are turning your gaze within, like in the All Paths Lead Home card, turning your gaze within and making a decision that changes your fortune, that makes you feel very at home. So this could be career related, or just something related to your future, something that would change or even uphold your surroundings. So you could be getting a new job and finding a better workplace where you could actually form a community with your co-workers, or you could be trying to learn a new skill, like the Ace of Coins card. The Ace of Coins is about potential. You might be trying to learn a new skill that would be helpful to you in the future, that would bring you abundance. Or something would just, you might make some sort of decision that would bring a very lucky change into your life. Like in the Wheel of Fortune, I see there's a sense of the unexpected. Something very lucky is going to happen to you and really uplift your fortunes, or just really uplift your prospect for the future. I think that some of you might be even uprooting yourself and moving to a new place and planting your roots in a new place. I see that imagery of planting your roots, having new roots very strongly with this pile because of the Jack and the Beanstalk imagery in the Ace of Coins card, something taking root. And of course the idea of community and the idea of home in the two oracle cards. So you might be moving to a new place that would bring about a shift in fortunes. You might have felt very jaded, very tired by your current surroundings, by the people that you've been hanging out with. You feel like your life might not have been moving forward, but in the next 6 months, I see you creating that change that would uplift everything. It's almost like it's magical, like that community card. You feel like... So if the community card, like we see here, like there are many, first of all, there are many butterflies depicted on the card, and butterflies could be a symbol of transformation. But at the same time, I don't see that this is something necessarily very groundbreaking, or very, it's not like a bolt of lightning striking down from the sky and changing everything, destroying everything and rebuilding everything. This is like it's almost like a 10 of coins energy. So finding small, it's almost like having little blissful moments in your life. It's all like having every aspect of your life being uplifted. So you might have a better pay at your workplace and meet an exciting new friend or exciting new lover, or have a better relationship with your friends. So it's almost like everything in your life is becoming better at once, but it might not be a very drastic change. Like with the east wind card, the east wind isn't a very strong gust of wind. It's a warm and slow breath of air. The community card also reminds me of the 10 of cups. Both the 10 of coins and the 10 of cups. There isn't a lot of very luxurious things depicted in those cards. There isn't necessarily something very groundbreaking and exciting going on, but the characters, or rather the people in those cards, are feeling very grateful for what they have. They are very aware of what they have, especially with the community card. You see a rainbow filtering through the trees. It's almost as if you are viewing your surroundings through this rainbow tinted glasses. Okay, it's almost like everything feels much better and more magical to you. And that is all I have for group 3. I hope this resonated with you. I really hope you like this reading, and please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. And I hope to see you again. Thank you and goodbye.